And tonight's topic, ooh, wait a minute. Tonight's topic is about to be fire.
Hey.
There go Robin.
What up, though?
Robin Ayers, man. She got an amazing show, man. Comes on before mine from 6 to 7.
Yep.
She in the building.
Hey.
Yeah. Come on. You know I'm finna act a fool tonight. Spray that seat down, because you never know if people been farting or whatnot.
Oh, Lord. We gonna keep our little mouths out the gutter today.
Listen, you know how many farts been in that chair?
There you go, little.
That's why I sit on my floor at home, so I can fart on the floor, so I don't fart on my couch. What up, y'all? The Voice of Reason, live at KBLA Talk 1580. We about to turn all the way up. We got a banger for Friday night. So get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Oh, let me get this. What up, Keisha?
Exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. So she took me to the fan, right? I'll break down in a minute. We seem to fuss and fight every day. Please give some advice so we can see the light.
All right. So these two are me.
Oh, okay.
Hit that like button. Let's go.
It seems odd at first to imagine that we might get angry, even maddened by a partner, because they were, in the course of a discussion, proving to be too reasonable and too logical. We are used to thinking highly of reason and logic. We're not normally enemies of evidence and rationality. How then could these ingredients become problematic in the course of love? But from close up, considered with sufficient imagination, our suspicion can make a lot of sense. When we're in difficulties, what we may primarily be seeking from our partners is a sense that they understand what we're going through. We're not looking for answers. The problems may be too large for there to be any obvious ones, so much as comfort, reassurance, and fellow feeling. In the circumstances, the deployment of an overly logical stance may come across not as an act of kindness, but as a species of disguised impatience. Let's imagine someone who comes to their partner complaining of vertigo. The fear of heights is usually manifestly unreasonable. The balcony obviously isn't about to collapse. There's a strong iron balustrade between us and the abyss. The building has been repeatedly tested by experts. We may know all this intellectually, but it does nothing to reduce sickening anxiety in practice. If a partner were to patiently begin to explain the laws of physics to us, we wouldn't be grateful. We would simply feel that they were misunderstanding us. Much that troubles us has a structure akin to vertigo. Our worry isn't exactly reasonable, but we're unsettled all the same. We can, for example, continue to feel guilty about letting down our parents, no matter how nice to them we've actually been. Or we can feel very worried about money, even if we're objectively, economically quite safe. We can feel horrified by our own appearance, even though no one else judges our face or body harshly. Or we can be certain that we're failures who've messed up everything we've ever done, even if, in objective terms, we seem to be doing pretty well. We can obsess that we've forgotten to pack something, even though we've taken a lot of care and carry in case about almost everything at the other end. Or we may feel that our life will fall apart if we have to make a short speech, even though thousands of people make quite bad speeches every day, and their lives continue as normal. When we recount our worries to our partner, we may receive a set of precisely delivered, unimpassioned, logical answers. We have been good to our parents, we have packed enough toothpaste, etc. Answers that are both entirely true and yet unhelpful as well, and so, in their own way, enraging. It feels as if the excessive logic of the other person has led them to look down on our concerns. Because, reasonably speaking, we shouldn't have our fears or worries, the implication is that no sane person would have them. Our partners make us feel a bit mad. The one putting forward the so-called logical point of view shouldn't be surprised by the angry response they receive. They are forgetting how weird and beyond the ordinary rules of reason all human minds can be, their own included. The logic they are applying is really a species of brute common sense that refuses the deeper insights of psychology. Of course, our minds are prey to phantasms, illusions.
Ho, ho, ho!
What you saying?
Listen here, ladies and gentlemen. The voice of reason has returned to KBLA Talk 1580. It's Friday night. You know I gotta leave y'all off on the week with a banger. People been asking for this topic all week. Well, I'm gonna give it to you this evening. I have a special guest. She has returned to the scene of the crime. None other than Delana Zimmerman, LMFT.
Yes, sir.
Back in the building, ready to cook with the rarest of grease. Yo, this is about to happen. Tonight's topic, the head / heart versus battle. The thinker and the feeler. Logic versus feelings. And the winner is
Feelings.
balance. See that? Water sign, Pisces. She wanted feelings. Feelings. No. It's balance. It's both, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you're struggling with this in your relationship, where you might be the feeler and your partner might be the thinker, or vice versa. If you're struggling to speak their language or to understand their language, tonight's show is the show. Now, I have a few questions to ask, and then we're going to jump right in head first. What does logic mean to a healthy relationship? 1-800-920-1580. Should there be a logical component to relationships? 1-800-920-1580. Somebody call me right now. Get ready. How do logical people show love? Huh? Yeah. When it comes to relationship, are women becoming more logical and men more emotional? Eesh.
That's messy.
Is that messy? Am I starting stuff? 1-800-920-1580. Get ready. Hey, we about to turn up. Are thinkers and feelers compatible? I would say yes. They just have to be committed to mastering the other's language.
Yes.
And where there is no commitment, there will be confusion.
Yes.
1-800-920-1580. Somebody call me. Can bad logic or incorrect reasoning ruin a marriage? Ooh. It's a lot of brothers out there swear they logical, ain't took a logic class in their life. Don't know the difference between a premise and a conclusion. Oh, Lord, we're going to get it in tonight. Why do deep thinkers and feelers often struggle in relationship? I'm not going to ask no more questions. We got our I'm telling you, we got a nuclear bomb of spiritual insight in the building. Miss Delana Zimmerman, LMFT. Talk to me about, I would call this a crossroad because it's two languages here. Why is it that these two seemingly opposite types come together, and what can they learn from each other, and why is it so difficult to extrapolate those jewels?
Well, as in all relationships, and it really doesn't matter if there's two feelers or two thinkers or the combination, if each individual is not willing to be influenced by the other, then it, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to flow. The machine is not going to move like a well-oiled machine.
You better talk right now. Come on.
There has to be influence. Can I influence you? Can I follow you? Can I be under leadership? Whether it's a feeling leadership or a logical leadership. One thing about relationships, and unfortunately many of us haven't seen healthy relationships, so we're making it up as we go along anyway. And this logic, I'm afraid, is going to fall under the category of common sense.
Go in. Say more about common sense and the lack thereof. Go ahead.
Well, common sense is really a person that relies upon their own understanding. And then because they believe it, they believe the entire world should believe it. It's common sense, except common sense is not common. It's what your experience was. It's what your perception was growing up. What man did you see that was healthy, that led a family, that was logical and feeling? What woman did you see that led the family, or that followed, or that was influenced by the experience, that was feeling and logical? Or are you making it up? And telling me this is common sense.
So when you say making it up, I automatically go right to brick and mortar, right? Something is missing. You trying to build a wall. You don't have no mortar. So what you tend to do is create mortar out of fear, ego, lack of communication skills. You will create a mortar to build a faulty wall in trying to relate and connect to other people. That's what I get when you say something is missing. I didn't see it growing up. So in not seeing it growing up, see, let me give you another little wrinkle to it. You may have had a father, but he wasn't a good person. Do you see? Some of that's in you. And then you make your mortar for this defensive wall you've been building out of that. Talk to me more about how we pull from some of the negative things we've modeled in our attachment styles. Go into that.
Wow. In Black families, it is not always safe to communicate how you feel. I don't know which Black family. I've never seen them where the child could say, "Oh, I'm disappointed by this. I'm upset about this. This doesn't work for me." So if I'm a child that doesn't ever learn how to communicate what I feel and have to learn how to suppress it and hide it and survive emotionally in the family system, then I become an adult that does that. It is already established by 18 months old what our attachment style will be. Will it be secure or insecure? And what kind of insecurity will it be? Will it be preoccupied? This is the one who is in your phone, who can't control themselves, that the police get called out about because it's such high intensity emotion. And then there's the dismissive one or avoidant one who don't need nobody, won't let you really do anything for them, detached like they never loved you.
Typically the thinker.
The thinker.
That's me. Oh, Lord, she done called me out on the radio in front of everybody. When I come forward, I'm going to clean this up. Hopefully we can edit this out. The Voice of Reason is on fire Friday night.
She did it so fast. You didn't even know she was gonna do it.
Yeah. Come on. Fire. Fire.
In the elegant chandelier room on Saturday, March 4th, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. and after party until 7 p.m. This is a VIP.
She said, that's the thing. We don't know what the fuck we doing. That's what she said. Now, she can't say it on the radio, but she said, we don't know what the fuck we doing. That's what she said.
Or call 626-574-6402. The after party starts after the last race, which includes more food, more drinks, more music, and a meet and greet with the jockeys. That's the
Let me sip a little tea.
Right? I know.
She said, because the white boy done told them what they, ooh, Lord.
online at sansaanita.com/sapphire. Or call 626-574-6402.
AKA no.
Hey, y'all bullshitting on the super chats. They said what?
You and Dorsey got it tonight.
That look like Dorsey though, green and white.
No AKA, baby.
Dorsey high.
No AKA over here.
Yo, come on, y'all. Don't play with me. This show is too goddamn good. Y'all gotta hit that super chat. Show your love, show your appreciation for what we doing here now. Truemonger, Heru Ali, Nzinga, aka whoever else is family. Y'all set the benchmark and let's hit this shit, cause this about to be a real one.
Known as the Community Coalition, South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say yeah.
Attila Phillips said, same, I appear detached, but I be dying on the inside, yeah?
Under the umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underprivileged prepare for college, and work with
No, Mimi, you wrong. The comments are not the show. This is the show. Don't get it twisted. Maybe on some other show, but on this show, the show is the show.
To make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCEL scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition.
First off, you got the tiniest voice in the Western Hemisphere.
SouthLA.org. COCSouthLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
It wasn't a compliment. I don't take it as a compliment.
The voice of reason with Zoe Williams from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey. You gotta get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason back in the building. Tonight's topic is a doozy. Are you in a relationship with a thinker and you're a feeler? Or are you the thinker and they're the feeler? And because you guys approach and express thinking and feeling differently, do you guys have problems, complications? True or false, the most obvious communication difference between a thinker and a feeler is how they prioritize logic over emotion. Is that true or false?
I'll say false.
Come on. Tell me
Say
why.
false. Even though the thinker thinks that they are the thinker,
Come on.
They are absolutely a feeler. Now, it's either love or fear.
You better talk to us this evening. Come on.
That's it. It's just love or fear.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm afraid that you're not getting me, eventually I'm going to feel fear. I'm going to show anger. That's how many Black people show their feelings. It's through the lens of anger. So the thinker is entitled to have logical streams of processing. I mean, that's beautiful. Cognitive ability is powerful. To be solution-based is important in a relationship.
Right.
Because if you stay in the problem too long, then there'll be hopelessness, right? So what I think is important is for us to honor the thinker, but also honor the feeler. We're talking about balance being the solution. Relationships must have room.
Right. And this is why I say they are actually compatible.
Yes.
Because many people don't think they're compatible, but I believe that they're compatible. It's just that they have to seek balance. And the only way to seek balance is to have a thorough understanding of who you are.
But
Your
if I
thoughts?
want to control,
Go there.
if I want to control because I'm afraid because of my insecure attachment, I'm afraid you're going to abandon me. I'm afraid I'm not smart enough. I'm fronting. I have a veneer on. I don't think that I'm good enough because I haven't worked out my self-love healing. All of this is showing up in the relationship. It doesn't matter if it's your partner, your boo, you've been together for 30 years. It doesn't matter. If the person is not healed, they're going to manifest their fear, their trauma, and their brokenness in the exchange. That's going to show up in the so-called solution of the problems in your relationship. It has to. Because you're going to get triggered. And hurt.
I got another one for you. True or false? Feelers can often mistake how low emotions play in a thinker's mind. Thinkers approach every situation from their head, ignoring or even entirely dismissing the heart as irrelevant. True or false?
True. Feelers are often confused that the expression of emotion is the only way to experience, a relationship. Oftentimes, people who depend solely on how they feel are so dependent. There's a codependency. There's a need for them to get reciprocity, for you to make them feel a particular way, feel better. Does that make sense?
If it don't feel good, this is something I gotta move away from. I gotta pull back from because it doesn't feel good.
I think it's your responsibility to make me feel better. I think you're supposed to throw your hand down my throat and turn the switch off in my stomach so that I don't die from this thing that I need you to give me.
So do feelers understand this concept? Just because it doesn't feel good doesn't mean it's not good for you.
Feelers want to feel good. They want the solution to be the feeling as opposed to what the issue is.
Come on. 1-800-920-1580. I don't know who's cooking this evening, but we in here cooking with rarefied grease. What's your favorite grease to cook with?
Olive oil.
There's olive oil. I got that other oil. What's that other oil they got? It's grapeseed. Yes, we're not using canola. We're not using corn oil. We're using the high-end oil. You understand? The oil that they sell over at Whole Foods and Gelson's. We're using the good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Voice of Reason. We on fire tonight. Are you in a thinker-feeler relationship? And is there an internal versus battle going on? Reggie from Austin, Texas wants to chime in.
I love what I heard so far because I've heard myself on each side. I grew up as a feeler, and in my house, we really couldn't express ourselves. So it really gave me some boundaries, and it helped me develop my mind because I had to get the feelings out, so I got them out through my mind, through all of the ideas I had. And, I started reading Howard Thurman. He had a book called With Head and Heart, and it discusses being a thinker and a feeler. And he said that because there's a spiritual component in everything, then there's a feeler in every thinker, and there's a thinker in every feeler. And so if you concentrate on that spirit, or the spiritual component, then it'll allow you to kind of blend in on each side.
Mm-hmm.
So I became real free. You know, my mind was really, really free. There were so many different things that could happen. And when I opened my mind to all the possibilities that could happen, my life became much, much better.
Let me ask you this though, Reggie. You're telling me you have been able to balance your internal thinker and feeler. I just want to be clear. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And what
Yes.
is the process? Because this is your process. Because it may work for some. It's not. I'm not anticipating that it'll work for everybody. But what is your process to balance the internal thinker and feeler?
I pray, and when I pray, I ask God to let me be open to all the possibilities of life.
Ooh. So,
That's one of my prayers that
so
I
wait,
pray.
hold on, because when you say you pray and you ask God that you are open, are you relinquishing control? Are you surrendering? I just need to know.
Absolutely, yes, I am.
Mm.
Yes, I am. I'm not in control. And man, even if I have experience about certain things, I don't have experience about everything in anything. I only have my experiences, but my experiences aren't the only experiences to have. So I had to relinquish my ego and saying, I don't know this or that. I just don't. I have a lot of blind spots, and I acknowledge my blind spots.
Mm.
And when I did that, I became able to see more things. Now, I think as far as like the spirit, another word for that is discernment. And so you know a little bit about something because I think you're given information about something. You may go to feeling, you may go to thinking, whatever, but you've given information about something, and that's your discernment. Go with your gut. Go with your discernment. You know, you know a little bit about something, and I think you know what you need to know when you need to know it.
So
It may be at the last moment, but you know it when
So-
you need to know it.
So let me do this though. I want my guest, Delana Zimmerman, to address some of the points that you made. What are your thoughts about his point on discernment and knowing what you know and being content with that and that alone? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm actually inspired by this call. Basically, we don't know what we are or how we function. And so we are often just surviving relationships. So discernment, 100%. When I recognize that divine mind exists and it is always giving me the thoughts that I need to move life and relationships and career and creativity forward, then I open myself up to the divine mind to give me the thoughts that I need. If I recognize that the way that I feel is not always fact, that sometimes I may be perceiving a threat, and so my body is feeling fight or flight. I'm full of adrenaline. Ooh. I'm full of cortisol, and that's what's running my life. But when you talk about discernment, that means that I must know how to sit and listen.
Wait, hold tight. She's cooking with the rarest of grease, avocado oil, if I believe. Hold tight. When we come forward, we're going to allow her to finish addressing Reggie. This is great stuff. When we come forward, clearly we got a lot to talk about. Chitlin Pimp! Everybody that's hitting that super chat, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Mimi, you know I love you, Mimi. I'm always poking at you. It's nothing personal, Mimi. You know I love you, baby. Come on, Mimi. Chitlin Pimp. Thank you, brother. Katina. Thank you, brother. Sister. That's Haru Ali's woman. I don't want nobody pushing up on her. If he not in here, I'm her security guard. Don't push up on Katina. Can everybody say thank you to Katina and Chitlin Pimp for showing up big time? Of course, in Zynga. Yo, that's what this is. This is the building fund. And Zynga got it right. This is the building fund. Love y'all, all of y'all. Mimi, love you, Mimi. You know that. Don't trip.
told a judge he doesn't plan
Tiffany,
to
I
testify.
see you on the line.
Explain lack of evidence. All three men face up to life in prison if found guilty. Closing arguments are set to begin Tuesday morning. In celebrity birthdays, former football star Herschel Walker is 61. He won the Heisman Trophy as a junior at the University of Georgia in 1982.
Herschel Walker.
Latest, I'm Doug Davis.
See, what happened was God made mud. And that's why we as kids play in the mud. We like mud cakes because God made mud. He running for political office. God made mud. And so as kids, we played with mud.
Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com. Hi, I'm civil rights attorney Reba Martin, host of Reba
Yo,
Martin.
yo, yo, Chitlin Pim. Thank you, brother. You putting us on the map tonight.
Be sure to tune in weekdays.
Y'all tell me, what do y'all think about tonight's topic? Y'all tell me. Are we ending the week with a banger? So, let me say this, one other thing. This means 30 seconds. So when we get close to the clock, I'm going to go up to that 30-second mark. I'll give you that. Try to wrap it up real quick. And then, that was the second thing I was going to say. If we're going to work with the mic, let's do it during the break. So I can live with how she sounds. She sounds pretty good because she's pretty close. But if you guys want to adjust the mic, when we do it on the air, we can hear the mic moving and it sounds really bad.
On KBLA Talk 1580.
Another baby powder topic slap.
The South Los Angeles Clergy for Public Accountability invites you to an ecumenical and interfaith service in solidarity in support of our friend and brother, the
Like it up, y'all. Like it up. It's more people in here than there are likes. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that like button. We out here killing tonight. Let's show our love on the likes. Let's get the likes up.
West Adams Boulevard in Los Angeles, California. A veritable who's who of clergy will encircle Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas, praying that in the days ahead, justice will roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. And of course, the music is going to be fire. If you're a friend,
They asked me to read it. They asked me to read it. Yeah, well, no, they're going to some church. They said, "Zo, do your church voice and read."
Church, again, located at 3320 West Adams Boulevard in Los Angeles, California.
That's how they wrote it. They said we need the church voice. So I said, "Oh Lord."
California is a great place to live and work, but those aren't easy.
I did it in one take though.
Also going to college. That's why the state created the California
Rolling down
College Corps, a way for students to build
the
skills.
mighty waters of Vanetta Colbert. She said this is a great topic. Vanetta, we love you. We love you. I hope you got your package, your gold dust. Did you get your gold dust? Oh, you not knowing? Did I send you a second episode of the Situation Shift? I texted to you.
But those aren't easy things to do for students also
How you
going
not
to
get
college.
it?
That's why the state created the Californians for All College Corps, a way for students to build skills and help others while earning up to $10,000 for
Did you
school.
get it?
Commit to serve your community and
That
we'll help
is
you
crazy.
Get to college. Spots will fill up fast. So learn more and apply today at www.
I texted to somebody.
collegecorps.com.
Hey, why we betting and shooting? I don't want to bet or shoot. I don't want to do that, Jesus. This girl said bet 100, shoot 100. Like, what kind of Nipsey Hussle crap game are we in? What in the world? Bet 100, shoot 100. You understand? What? The fuck is happening? My brother Heru Ali, man, I appreciate you, bro. Abu. No, Abu is the Middle Eastern side. Bet 100, shoot 100. What in the name of Crenshaw Boulevard is going on?
Congratulations, South LA. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million
Wow.
economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods.
I don't know what to think.
Apply for medical school. Get more information or sign your child up for the.
Oh, that's right. You did email me and say you were traveling. That's right.
CDU.edu. That's C.
Heru Ali, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. and you're a woman, man, you guys come in here and y'all support big time, man. It's always love, man. Haru Ali, Nazarene X, Tiffany, Attila Phillips, Vanetta Colbert, Nzinga, Truemonger, man, Sugar Mac 10, Mimi, D726. We appreciate everybody that shows up and shows love, man. You guys do it every day. He who thinks, number love.
Beignets?
We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I come running back to you and lay it all on the line. 'Cause ain't nothing left to lose. Planning on the love of a lifetime. If we pride ourselves in love, we can believe our lives. But love is on the run. Girl, don't you know that you can't hide?
Friends and family, welcome to some of the most riveting discussions you can hear on talk radio in the world. The Voice of Reason is live on KBLA Talk 1580. We always bring the fire. Tonight's topic is very heavy, and as you know, my playlist is my co-host, and this is my mental playlist. The first record you heard was You're Always on My Mind, SWV, 1992. And then that record was You're on My Mind by Kim, 2010. This is my mental playlist because I believe that logic plays a significant role in healthy relationships. And I would even venture to say it's not a bad idea for a couple to go to a logic class just to learn the basics of logic. I hear brothers swear they understand logic, but always engage in circular conversations, false narratives, fallacies. You know, I'm like, we need a fundamental class where part of being in a relationship is being able to articulate how you feel, what you think, what you want, how you show up. A lot of people don't even think of logic in that way. They think it's something, it's mathematical. No. Logic is the science of evaluating reason. Let's reason. That means logic. To sit down and be able to evaluate a discussion. We have a negative view of argument. Our argument is you telling me off, or you cussing somebody out, or you shutting somebody down. That's our natural interface with argument. But in logic, argumentation is, I'm going to sit here and listen to your premise and see if it aligns with your conclusion. If it doesn't align with your conclusion, it's not true, right? It's just not true. So as a couple doing a logic class together, I think that would elevate their communication. What is your thought?
It would absolutely make the couple more responsible.
Ooh, you can't lie then.
You cannot.
Ooh.
You cannot. And something that I was thinking on the break was that relationships must have space and room to grow and evolve. I cannot believe that I'm the only one that knows what to do in this relationship. I have to believe that we have to learn what our relationship is. We co-create our experience together. And so, to your point, conflict is good. It helps each other know what the other is thinking, feeling, and experiencing. And hopefully the goal is that there is a common solution or at least a compromise.
Ooh, Lord. There's so much meat on that. Listen, hold on. Let's get Reggie back in here. Reggie. Delania was breaking down some of the things you were saying, but I'm compelled, because you're such a great caller. I'm compelled to get your thoughts on the logic course as part of premarital. The logic course seems huge, right? What are your thoughts, brother?
I really want to take a logic course with my woman because I want to see how she responds initially. And I want to know how I respond initially. Like, I don't want to wait until we get into an intense discussion to know how we respond. Like, I want to know early. And I think that could be a great opportunity for that. And what Ms. Zimmerman was saying as far as time, or as far as space rather, to grow, well, time is that space. And I think if you just don't lean toward logic or toward feeling initially, but just let whatever be how it's going to be, then let some time get in there, and then you can see what it is.
You know, Reggie,
Reggie, Miss Zimmerman wants to speak to you.
A relationship must include logic and feeling. That's what makes it a relationship. We're exchanging with each other. There's reciprocity here. It's a biofeedback loop. It's going to have to be feeling and logic, language. And so what I said earlier was that many of us haven't grown up knowing how to even give language to how we feel. And so that can be a logical conversation. I was feeling unseen in this particular situation. That doesn't have to be a feeling conversation. That's me able to articulate and me able to say, this is the premise of why my behavior is this way. I was feeling unseen. And whenever I feel unseen, I behave that way. And so it's more than taking a logic class, because if I get triggered before we can get to the solution or the premise or the conclusion, if I get triggered, there's no more logic that's going to happen anyway. I'm either going to shut down, blow up, I'm going to gaslight, I'm going to stonewall, I'm going to criticize, I'm going to feel criticized, I'm going to become defensive in relationships. So what's really important is what you said, Reggie, is having a spiritual basis of life.
Come on.
Having an ability to pause when agitated. Having an ability to say, oh, you know what, let's put a pin in it for right now, and I want to come back to this conversation so that I can give you what we need in order to get to the solution.
Right, because this is what I talk about when I say the toolbox. Just imagine, there are logical fallacies, right? One of them is post hoc, right? This is a logical fallacy in which one event seems to be the cause of a later event because it occurred earlier. Post hoc is particularly a tempting error. So what happens is, just because something happened earlier doesn't necessarily mean it's related to what happens later, right? And sometimes we may pull that together as if, see, this happened and now this is happening, so they must be related. Not necessarily.
No.
So for me, I believe you're going to be able to deal with begging the question, slippery slope fallacy, straw man fallacy, red herring fallacies. You're going to be able to recognize those in your partner's communication. Everybody talks about communication, but nobody wants to put the dedication in to understand that you're using a type of logic, whether you're skilled at it or not, when you speak English.
For sure.
Do you see? So that's why I say that, to me, that's a big piece. Understanding how we argue. understanding why we would shut down, and then having the space to be able to articulate it in our safe space called the relationship.
Called the relationship.
Come on.
It's got to be a space. There
Yeah.
has to be room for us to get it right and room for us to get it wrong. It has to be able to expand like the heart and constrict to contain us. The relationship has to make room for everybody growing and developing and being an adult. Nobody has never been 34 years old when they're 34 years old. It's the first time they've ever done it. So the expectation that they should already know how to do it is ridiculous.
Why did you pick the number 34?
It was random.
It was, oh Lord, 1-800-920-1580. Look, when we come forward, I just want Reggie on for a little while longer. When we come forward, we're going to continue to cook, because I'm telling you, man, this is a master chef in the building, and she's got a lot to talk about. Oh, this is my playback show. Hell no. Why did you choose 34? That number just popped up? You work with millennials. Oh.
Story courtesy of blackmedia.org. Representative Barbara Lee holds her first
34 ain't old. That's some young shit.
California.
Yeah.
Freedom, dignity, justice, and together.
Yeah.
African American women in the U.S. Congress and
Yeah.
African Americans so far in the 2024 California senatorial race.
Are y'all fucking with tonight's show? Y'all tell me. Put up an emoji that tells me, whatever emoji you want. Put up an emoji that tells me we on some other shit tonight. This different tonight. Y'all know I've been working on this topic all week. I had it already planned. That's why I was able to post the shit early today. Y'all put up whatever emoji you want. Tell us how you feel about tonight.
Anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources.
If you don't get
I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized. I can't let go. Let's drag it down.
317-467.
Whatever emoji you want. Everybody put up an emoji. Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention it, but we're at 900. Not 900, excuse me. I wish. My God, I wish. We're at $196.97. $196.97. So according to Heru and Truemonger, we're $4 away from the goal.
Okay, so they acting up in the chat.
But is it worth more? You tell me. Y'all hit that super chat. Show your love. Delana Zimmerman is in here simmering. See, I used to rap.
The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis.
My gas mixed up.
Hey, Nazarene, I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, welcome to the show, baby.
Discrimination-free job sites. They prepare black workers for employment in high-wage, career-track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports
Yeah,
workers
let's
who need help
not be
protecting their
goofy
rights on
today.
the
This is
job.
not the
They
show to
give
be
workers
goofy.
access to
It's not goofy time.
Yeah, all that money kick in. I don't like
Hey,
that.
thank you, Nazarene. I appreciate you, bro. I really do. I appreciate you and your woman. Y'all call in. Y'all support the show. Y'all show love every motherfucking day. I appreciate it.
Well, all right, thank you, baby. Yes. We got the doctor in the house.
Okay.
I like y'all got some sense today.
Tiffany, y'all in here dropping, showing y'all love. I appreciate it.
It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes. Don't close the door. Listen. I've been waiting to tell you this. You are more than a man could ever want.
Hey.
But just let me know.
Wait, hold on. Turn it off. See, before the show, the two sisters that are sitting in here now tried to question my playlist prowess. They said, hold on now. You need to show me what the playlist is. You need to tell me what you gonna play, because this topic is too good, and I need you to run your playlist by me so I can sign off. I said, what? I ain't got to sign off on my... Play that record again, man. Come on.
One.
We stepped in the club in your hood. I showed it to the left and there you stood. Even when your friends talking, but when our eyes connected, it was just like two ways on me. I'm your king, be my queen. What do you wanna do tonight? My drink is popped out front, so that's right. I can read your mind, babe. I know what you're thinking. Oh, what you thinking?
That man is lying. Can't no man read no woman's mind. Yvonne is lying. Turn Yvonne off. Ain't no male psychics.
But it sounds good.
It sounds good. Boy, that boy was simping. He said, I know what to say to women. I know what to say. R. Kelly part 2, that's right. I know what to say to women. I can say I read your mind.
I've been waiting on that.
That boy lying. And we can't read your mind. And
You
we
gotta
can't,
read my mind because I don't know how to express what I feel.
then you better get a thesaurus. You better come up with some new
I need
words.
some words.
Yes, if you can speak in tongues, you can tell me how you feel. Now, I don't want to hear, and that means you delivered. You better tell me how you feel.
What if I'm faking that too?
Oh, Lord Jesus. So then the whole relationship is fake if you faking that.
What if I'm just being what I think you need me to be?
Ooh, don't think what I need, because you can't think there. I got to be able to articulate that, right?
I'm perceiving it. I'm projecting it.
Ooh, well, let's get it. Let's see which one it is. Is it perception or projection?
After I perceive it, then I project it onto you.
Ooh, but is it perceived through a filter?
Absolutely.
Well, you got to clean your filter, because I might not be projecting what you're perceiving and then projecting back to me.
My perception is fantasy-based.
Ooh, Lord, 1-800-920-1580. This is what happens when me and Delana get together. Reggie, get in here, man.
Man, this is good. I want my filter to be clear, and I don't want to filter through a prism. Now, if I filter through a prism, I see a whole bunch of different stuff, and I want to be open to everything. But I want to get a little bit deeper in this. If I get triggered, or if my woman gets triggered, I don't want to respond by stonewalling or by shutting down or by just being real extreme. Okay, so I want to be open in my argument. I want to be open in the premise. I want to be open all the way. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be so narrow in anything that I get so triggered and go to the extreme. How do we remain open in our argument?
So let me frame it for the doc, right? Okay. Because I hear what you're saying. When open, Doc, can you talk about how there's a difference from stonewalling, withholding communication, and silence? Because sometimes you have to sit silent and say, let me process. Give me the good space to process. My silence doesn't mean my non-participation. Can you make the distinction between stonewalling and shutting someone out, and taking a moment of silence to kind of process? Talk to me.
Sure. And in this conversation, I'm going to have to define love. So stonewalling is I can't help it. My nervous system shuts down as a survival mechanism. I don't even want to shut down. It's the only way that I can keep myself from losing it completely. That's what stonewalling is about. I don't want to participate in the relationship, or I don't have the capacity to participate in the relationship.
I said that today. Go ahead.
And silence is from a place of love, self-love. I am going to take this moment so that I can honor myself, honor yourself, honor you, and the relationship. The relationship should be taken care of. It should be treated like it's a fragile baby. There should not be any excuse for me to damage this relationship.
100. Yes.
It can't happen.
Right.
I can't tear it up and then try to build it back together. It's like taking a piece of paper and crumbling it. You might straighten it back out, but it'll never be that piece of paper again.
So let me come back to you.
Yes.
If all you have is stonewalling,
Yes.
because you lack the capacity
Yes.
to go into silence, that's okay too, right?
Well, it has to be okay if it's all that you have. However,
yes, that's
however,
what, yes.
it's not going to work. It's not going to last.
Well, if you
it's
try
not
to come,
sustainable.
right, but if you try to come back, you got to repair.
Yes, you do.
Talk to me.
Oh my goodness! Somebody read a book.
Come on, you know I'm not playing reindeer games. I'm ready for you.
I know you are. So if I stonewall only because it's the way that I survive my emotional, I want to say my nervous system, because that's what happens. It's in the body. Feelings, we're talking about being a feeler, means that I am controlled by the things in my body. The chemicals that have been released in my body determine my next move. It's habitual.
Right.
It's not even conscious. It's subconscious. So if all I know is stonewalling, I can only practice that until I learn a new skill set. So yeah, it's okay that that's what you know how to do. But what happens when you're abandoning your partner when you stonewall? You're leaving them there without communication. They can't reciprocate. You can't be in the biofeed because you shut down. You say, take your toys and you go in the house. What about the relationship?
You took yourself out the loop. Ooh.
It's crumbling the paper.
Yep.
But we're here to live, learn, and practice. So this relationship has to be about learning and making space and grace for your partner's development. We're developing in front of each other. That's what the relationship is that I have made an agreement to grow up and evolve and become what the Creator intended in front of you.
In front of you.
Yep.
But hear what she's saying, though, Reggie, because I know you got a good response. But what I'm saying, in hearing what she's saying, what I'm feeling also is healthy relationships need space. And sometimes that space is space apart. Can you talk about that a little bit?
It should be communicated. We should have agreements.
Yes.
On the front end of the relationship. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. I had common sense. I was doing what I thought I knew. But what I learned in a healthy relationships start off with agreements. And you find out about agreements through conflict. You don't know you're going to have a conflict on certain things. So when you have the conflict, you start to understand, hey, we need to set an agreement around these types of interactions. So if I feel overwhelmed, then we need to have maybe a space word.
A space agreement. Wow. You better talk this, a space agreement. You need space. Let's agree on the parameters.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because I love me and I love you. And our definition of love has to be how I use my life force energy for my spiritual growth and for your spiritual growth. Not how I feel, but how I use my life force energy for spiritual growth.
Okay, Reggie, hold tight, Reggie. I'm bringing you over one more time. We're going to the top of the hour. This hour flew by because it's that good. Get ready. Hey, everybody drop $2. There's no reason we shouldn't do it. Everybody drop another $2. This shit is so fire. There's no reason. There's no excuse to not do it. Shit. Mimi, she's not pushing me. I'm alley-ooping. This is radio. I'm gonna teach Mimi how to do radio. Mimi, you want me to teach you? Mimi, don't be so comparative. We're on the same team, her and I. Keep pushing Zoe. Push him over the cliff. I like it when people disagree with Zoe. Mimi, knock it off. You and your silliness, knock it off.
The prosecution and defense have rested in the trial of 3 men charged with the 2018 robbery of South Florida Rapid Extension.
No, this shit is fire.
Their attorneys claim lack of
Wait till you hear
evidence.
these other agree or disagree questions I have for her.
Closing arguments are set to begin Tuesday morning. In celebrity birthdays, former football star Herschel Walker is 61. He won the Heisman Trophy as a junior at the University of Georgia in 1982. And
Herschel Walker.
I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side.
All you got to do.
It's called the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work, call the accident guys to speak with a real
She probably
expert
meant something
attorney for a
totally
free
different.
consultation.
But I like
This is a rather bold pronouncement, but we
token.
think we can back it up. If you come across a radio frequency anywhere, putting more variety and more
I love you, Mimi. You know that. Stop tripping. You call in here singing. Hey, show. You fucking a part of the show now.
find more shows covering more topics, hosted by a more diverse and inclusive lineup of talkers than the squad we have assembled here at KBLA Talk 1580.
That's all I'm here for. You know, the
We've
Greeks
got
used to
something
watch
for
them
everybody.
fight in
Health and healing,
now we
history and humor, issues and events, empowerment and entertainment, all in one station. What's really going on? Free enterprise. KBLA Talk 1580. Oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to
Name
call.
that
Has your
person.
soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy snack?
Let me say.
It's a very heated topic. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
100% Heru. 100% Heru Ali. 100%.
Trail has been committed. Hit you with a bad patch routine. How does he maintain his robustness? Why can't you open up, brother?
Yeah.
How do you rate women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
The best way to teach people critical thinking is to teach them to write. And I made this little thing that I put online. I don't know if is it in the Psych 434 website? Did I post that rubric for essay writing?
I don't think it actually went through. I think it is still on 430. That's how I
Is it not on 434? Is that not working?
email must not have gone through a year ago.
Oh,
Yeah. But I still have it. It's still on 430.
oh, okay. Well, there's an essay. Oh, that's too bad. It's not on the Psych 434 website even? Because I updated it. Anyways, I have this guide to writing that if it isn't on the 434 website, it is definitely on the 430 website. And it steps people through the process of writing. Because what's happened now, it's very hard to teach people to write because it's unbelievably time intensive. And like marking a good essay, that's really easy. Check A. You did everything right. Marking a bad essay, oh my God. The words are wrong, the phrases are wrong, the sentences are wrong, they're not ordered right in the paragraphs aren't coherent, and the whole thing makes no sense. So, trying to tell the person what they did wrong, it's like, well, you did everything wrong. Everything about this essay is wrong. Well, that's not helpful either. You have to find the few little things they did half right, and you have to teach them what they did wrong. It's really expensive. And so what I did with this rubric was try to address that from the production side instead of the grading side. But the best thing you can do is teach people to write, because there's no difference between that and thinking. And one of the things that just blows me away about universities is that no one ever tells students why they should write something. It's like, well, you have to do this assignment. Well, why are you writing? Well, you need the grade. It's like, no, you need to learn to think. Because thinking makes you act effectively in the world. Thinking makes you win the battles you undertake. And those could be battles for good things. If you can think and speak and write, you are absolutely deadly. Nothing can get in your way. So that's why you learn to write. It's like, and I can't believe that people aren't just told that. It's like, it's the most powerful weapon you could possibly provide someone with. And I mean, I know lots of people who've been staggeringly successful and watched them throughout my life. I mean, those people, you don't want to have an argument with them. They'll just slash you into pieces. And they're not in a malevolent way. It's like, if you're going to make your point and they're going to make their point, you better have your points organized, because otherwise you are going to look.
That was from an academician's perspective of writing. But apply his thought process to journaling. Huh?
Journaling is very important.
Do you see? So again, relationship is designed to exacerbate what you have not worked on. Now, sometimes, just people need to understand this. You attract a certain kind of person because you've been through a certain kind of thing. And that thing needs to be reconciled, resolved. And oftentimes we done molded our whole identity around that thing. And then you hit difficulty, challenge, conflict. And sometimes the person you've become gets called into question. Now, if you utilize what Jordan just said in the journaling space, when you get hit with the inevitable punch that life is going to throw you, your resolve, your ability to adapt, right? All of that is going to be heightened because you've been inside already. Does this make sense, Delana?
It makes perfect sense. However, you would be suggesting that people have the ability to be honest with themselves.
We know that's hard.
Well, I mean,
we know that's hard.
If my mama did it like this and she got where she got because of it, then this is what I'm doing.
Keep going.
I mean, but journaling would require me to get honest with myself, to admit my fears, to admit my insecurity. I would have to also admit my ego. I would have to admit that, I basically basic fear. I would have to admit that I need to grow up in an area. I would have to admit, right, and then make it right with you. I would have to come back to you and say, I notice these things about me. They're not effective in this relationship. And these are the steps I'm going to take to be different in the next phase of this relationship.
And that's if I care to.
But I have to have the ability to do it. Because if I am struggling with narcissism, I don't have the ability to see myself. I need to see myself, but I don't have the ability to it. My ego is so in charge of how I move. And I'm so small on the inside. I mean, it's like I have a hard coating. I'm fine, I'm fly, I get it going on. I'm successful in my life, but I have a jelly center.
Yeah.
So when you're in relationships with people who struggle with narcissistic tendencies, they are not going to ever see themselves.
Come on, man.
And they lack empathy.
Reggie, what are your thoughts after that napalm bomb?
Wow. This is good. I think that if we remove the judgment from our relationships and make them safe spaces, then that will help us battle the ego. And it would help us not feel like we're forced to lie, like we don't have any other choice. You give people choices by removing the judgment. And, I'm going to think you great. Even if you have a flaw, I'm going to think you great. So I don't have to, the other person doesn't have to lie or be dishonest with any part of the relationship. And so I think if you do that, it gives them a space to be the best person they can be. Now that's hard to do, but it's possible. And right now I just need a sliver of possibility to get this thing moving.
Hey, brother, we love you, man. Thank you for bringing Austin, Texas in the building, man. We on fire tonight. Who been on the longest? I got to get some more people in here. Listen, if you want to join this discussion, this most powerful discussion, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia, then Oakland, California, and somebody else is calling in right now.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Santa Anita Park, a premier race place for thoroughbred racing in South
Yo,
Florida.
we are literally on complete fire.
12 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Let me give you an update. At 8:10, 40 seconds, we are at $211. Listen, the more we give, the more I get. Because, you know, YouTube is going to take 30%. Can I ask us to get to 250? We get to 250, I'll close my mouth. Did we get all the likes we could get? I hope so. This is a transformative conversation. And let me just say this, man. The sister asked me, she said, what is the end goal of the show? I said, to inspire with love. And I was like, man, before every show, I'm outside praying and giving up my offerings, because really, that's what this show is about. If you don't, at the end of it, walk away thinking differently, man, one of my greatest upsets is for the people that are closest to you or closest to me. Sometimes it's, oh, that's just Zoe. That's just Zoe. And they don't take what this is. You guys take it seriously. You guys are like, oh, this means something. This is fire. But one of my greatest frustrations is that the people closest to you are kind of nose blind to it. They don't understand. They take it for granted. They think it's always going to be here. And that's really not the case. That's really not the case. So, listen, if y'all really fuck with it, if y'all flowing with it, please continue to support it. Please continue to show your love. That's what it is.
I love it. So tell me about this beautifully updated banking branch here on Crenshaw. That was really important. A part of our racial equity commitment was to build in
We
place
sleep.
for Chase. So being able to revamp this beautiful space, to be able to welcome community members, you know, today
Fully
one
dressed and
nonprofit,
sleep. Man, you
organizations
better knock it off.
actually do events in our community center that we're sitting in here for free. Yes, people come inside, like grab a coffee, use the Wi-Fi.
Good night, Vanetta. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Aisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
What's the end goal of the relationship?
Ooh, the end goal of relationship. I'm gonna tell you. Let's talk about it.
Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Every day I see you, but I love it not. I just wanna hold ya and make you mine. If you listen to me now, sweet baby, I'll make a promise, but you can hold me too. I promise, baby, that I'll stay by your side. 'Cause in my mind, I see you, and I just can't seem to shake you. Your sweetness to me is what I'm thinking of.
Y'all ain't heard that Brandy record in a long time. One of the greatest Brandy records ever, and it's slept on. Always on my mind, man. Woo! That first Brandy album when she was 16.
Right.
Oh, that's good. That's cold work right there now. My playlist is my co-host. This is the mental playlist. So you're gonna hear songs that are talking about the mind, right? And the topic tonight is absolutely bonkers. The head versus the heart battle. The thinker and the feeler. And the winner is balance. Yeah, that's what we own right now. Let me ask this question before we get back to the callers because the phone lines are cracking. True or false? When it comes to balancing perspectives, the thinker-feeler partnership is perhaps the one that adds the greatest depth. Thinkers often are more grounded, logical, and have a logical view of the world, while feelers open the door to unbridled emotional potential and possibility.
True.
That is true. This is why I say they're not incompatible. They just speak two different languages.
They're complementary.
They're complementary, but they have to be open to each other's language. How do we get them to speak each other's language? I need that.
Well, again, what's the purpose of the relationship?
You come on now.
So if the purpose of my relationship is to make me whole, then I'm going to struggle in becoming what I need to become to be complementary. If I need to have a baby and I'm in a relationship with you because of that, I mean, what are the reasons why people are in these relationships will determine what their commitment will be to balance. I can't commit to balance. I can't commit to the work if I'm in a relationship to feel better or to look better or to check a box.
How does the phrase "I said what I said" work in that dynamic?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It creates stonewalling. It creates disrespect. I don't matter. It triggers childhood stuff. Whose mama said that?
Oof.
You don't matter. What you think don't matter. What you feel don't matter. That's what children are experiencing. And so it's going to show up in the relationship. You know, a lot of people are in relationships with their idea of you and not actually you.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
They don't know you. You're actually strangers. You guys are in a habit calling it a relationship.
You're in a habit. 1-800-920-1580. Who wants some more of this? Who wants more of this? I know I do. Who been on the longest? Tiffany from Atlanta, Georgia. Get in here.
Hey, bro.
Hey, how are you, Tiffany?
I'm good. Oh, my God. This is my most favorite guest. She is cooking. Man, thank you so much for being here, Queen. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
So I have my baby on the line as well.
I ain't no baby.
Oh, he right there, too. Go on, child. Speak on it. Tell him how you feel. Tell him how you love. It's a couple call.
I love it.
We're going to argue on the air.
Good.
We're not going to argue. Okay, I want to first say that he and I grew up in two different type of households, but we are able to recognize each other through it. He grew up in a two-parent household. I grew up in a single-parent household. My mom was not very affectionate to me. She didn't give me hugs and kisses and all that type of stuff his mom does. So it's like his communication methods are way more expansive than my own. And he's been super duper patient throughout these years, even through the breakups and the makeups and things of that nature. But more so just opening up a space to where it's just a true love. And I'm super duper appreciative of that, but I can say that he is the deep thinker and I am the deep feeler, and we just have this type of camaraderie where it's just intense passion behind what it is that we look and aim to communicate.
What is this? This is Aquarius and Cancer, right?
Right.
He's the Aquarius. She's the Cancer. Oh, Lord, he could be harsh. And Cancer get all in her feelings. Like, listen here, this is the way to go now. Now, I done told you this is the way to go now. This makes sense, right? Use your mind. Do you see it makes sense? If it makes sense, we got to do it. You understand? We ain't got time to feel on it right now. You understand? We can't feel right. We'll feel when we get there.
I promise, like, you can try that all you want, but man, that, what you call it, it goes from like a little hermit crab to one of them Leviathan monsters for real out of nowhere. Like,
oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, and respecting that actually, just speaking to one of the key things that I learned with my relationship here with this particular woman, Tiffany, she literally had to early on, and I was receptive to it, but she had to tell me to open up, because I wasn't coming in like really openly, I guess, expressing my feelings like that. I wasn't leaning into my feelings.
So wait, let me do this real quick. Water gets mistaken as soft.
It does.
Water is not soft. Cancer has an underlining mean streak. Pisces, two fish going in two different directions. One is a fairy, the other one is a fiend, a demonic fiend. Now, if you wake up the other side, you gonna see Cancer can really be mean and hurtful, especially when they feel like they're under attack. Now, we all know Scorpio is legendary in their evilness, but you have to tap into that. You see, you have to tap into it. So never underestimate the water. Water can freeze on your ass and become solid as a rock and won't budge.
And drown you.
And drown you. Yes, man. So listen, don't ever underestimate water.
I wanted to thank you so much for sharing your relationship with us. I just wanted to say out loud, in what place and what family is a man allowed to express his feelings safely? Where is that not a weakness? What has been our ideas? What are we telling our boys about feeling and showing and expression and giving language? Where does it happen?
We can't even do it in our relationships.
That's why we can't do it in our relationships, because the boy couldn't do it. So if the boy can't do it, the man can't do it. Children that did not get those parts of themselves, there's those needs met, become adults that did not get that part of themselves developed and those needs met. It has to be learned in adulthood.
Go ahead, Nazarene. Get in here, Nazarene. You wanted to respond.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, thank God for this platform to work with our brother Zoe Williams, and thank you for being on and offering the divine feminine balance. But again, like, we used to have the barbershops, you know, the uncles would come around and stuff like that. It might not be the promoted majority of a situation, but again, like, we got to treasure where we can have a sense of mentorship for the young brothers or whatnot. But a lot of those times, even like, again, what Zoe was teach is like, our solution as men, I guess, to solve these problems, they actually come by way of the partners that we come across along our way anyway. So as long as we can be present or mindful of the opportunities that we're actually given when we can see beyond certain things, I mean, I think the opportunity to actually express yourself is always there. It's about, are we willing to be that brave, or do we feel comfortable, do we feel safe in this and the third? But it's always opportunity there. And that's again, like, going through therapy, like the automatic journaling and stuff like that. Sometimes you gotta just take what you got, like, find some way to express yourself and just pray that it's the most healthy way that you can do it. That's why I'll just say to that. But then again, just shout out to platforms like this. So, you know, if anybody's struggling, whether you can come in and soak up some game, feel what it, or experience what it's like, rather, to have a space where you can express yourself, bounce off ideas, or just acknowledge what you feel,
right,
you know, in a comfortable manner.
Right. Well, brother, let me just say this. We appreciate you and your lady for calling in. Y'all not only on the phone line, y'all in the chat. I love y'all. I love y'all relationship. I'm glad y'all done fought off some demons and got to a little platform, a plateau of peace. I'm with y'all. Y'all have a seat at the table whenever y'all want to call in. Y'all do that. We appreciate that and we celebrate y'all.
One love, one love.
Yes, yes, yes. Phone line still cracking. Hey, Kay, you called in and then you hung up. Kay from Los Angeles. We need to hear you tonight. You called in for a reason. Get back in here. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Sean, Oakland, California. Get in here.
Hey, brother and Dr. Zimmerman. Zoda, I mean, this is a great subject. So, first thing I want to say is 99% of our relationships are not that where we want to be with each other, intimately and be together all day long and have that love feeling, however we want to describe it. And it just came to me listening to you, both of you talk about this whole thing. My thing is, it's okay if you don't have a long-lasting one-person relationship. That's none of my business. But if you are going to have that, you've got to do it like you do 99% of all your relationships, which is when someone has a disagreement with you, you don't go nuts and you don't go crazy and get all up in their grill all the damn time unless you're out of your mind. You kind of sit back and take it all in and whoa, where am I at right now? In a relationship, a disagreement from your other person does not mean it's an insult. It doesn't mean they're disrespecting you. It's a disagreement. So it's the way you handle it that you will set the example for whoever it is you're having that disagreement with to handle it differently. And if they don't follow that and they don't get it or whatever, that's a different thing. But set the example. Wow, we have to deal with people throughout this world every single day. And everything both of you have been saying is right on point, and the callers and the relationships. But just remember, we deal with all these people all day long, and we don't get in a fight every day. I hope not. We don't get in a fist fight or whatever. We deal with it. So when you have a relationship, someone you actually really care about, want to spend a long time with, don't think of a disagreement as an insult. Think of it as a learning opportunity. Because, hell, you ask me why I listen to this show? Because it's a learning opportunity every damn day.
Okay, well, cuss us out while you were giving us a compliment. We love you, Sean. Sean, no, we love Sean. We appreciate the call. Thank you for reaching out. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I'm gonna get you started on another one. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? Yeah. Oh, he's giving me the signal but I'm gonna get her started on this anyway. Agree or disagree? Because feelings are such a huge part of a feeler's world, they often assume everyone communicates through a similar emotional lens. They live in the world of subtlety and nuance, reading between the emotional lines, and this can raise difficulty when it comes to communicating with a thinker.
Agree.
Talk to me about how it's not about shutting off the feeling. So how can the feeler find a way to reach the thinker? How should they approach the thinker? Wait, hold on. We got 1 minute.
Okay.
And what I wanted you to do is answer this on the other side.
That's beautiful.
Do me a favor, Andy. Just start it from the top. That Brandy record. I only got a taste of it. I ain't heard it in like 10 years. That Brandy record feel good. Can we go out to that? Let's go out to that. See, I knew you was about to get deep. So I had to. I'm gonna ask you the question again.
What that guy said, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
you don't act the fool.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
So, remember the regulate piece. Because we got to talk about that. Yes.
Network, President Biden is awarding a Black retired Army Special Forces colonel.
Somebody said this show is loaded with so many gems. That regulate piece is big. Let's do that.
True hero of our nation. Colonel Paris Davis.
But I'm definitely going to ask that
nation's
question.
highest military award
Yes.
for valor
Okay.
during a
And
ceremony
then
at the White House.
when we come back, I'll
Davis is
just
one of the nation's first
reframe
Black Special
the-
Forces officers. Both the prosecution and defense have rested in the trial of 3 men charged with the 2018 robbery and murder of South Florida rapper Extension. The accused
Big.
man, Michael
That's a
Goodright,
big
told the judge he
piece.
doesn't plan to testify.
You gonna make me play regulators.
All 3 men face up
Don't
to
make
life in
me
prison.
play Warren G. Regulators. Wow.
Georgia in 1982. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side. All you got to do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys to speak with a real
That's a
expert
bi-directional
attorney for a free
movement.
consultation.
Hi, I'm Civil Rights
We
Attorney
there.
Reba Martin,
Whoop.
host of Reba Martin in real time. Weekdays, 4 to 6 p.m. right here on KBLA Talk 1580. Be sure to tune in weekdays at 4:35 p.m. starting Tuesday, March
Right.
7th for your daily download on the federal bribery trial of LA City Council member Mark
Where
Ridley
the
Thomas.
two worlds
The
meet.
case is sure to have
Absolutely.
twists and
Yes.
turns, and our
Man, I don't know about y'all. This one different.
case of United States versus
This one is
Mark Ridley Thomas.
different.
We have our own seasoned justice correspondent who will be checking in with us to keep you up to speed on the
I hope
daily
y'all
details
enjoying the
of
show.
this
Y'all tell me.
high-profile
You
legal
tell
case.
me.
Be sure to tune into
What are your
Reba Martin
thoughts?
Real
If you could
Time
put it in one
weekdays at
sentence,
4:35 p.m.
what are your thoughts about tonight's show?
United States versus Mark Ridley Thomas. Only
If you
on
could put it in a
KBLA Talk
sentence,
1580.
what are your thoughts on tonight's show? Meek is the night. If anybody needed to be in this show, it should have been you. Meek is the night talking about I'm late. Peace. Meek is the night. Hey, this is one you got to go back to the podcast and listen to again. This one,
located at 3320 West
different.
Adams Boulevard in Los Angeles, California. A veritable who's who of clergy.
My
will
thoughts. I
encircle
got work to do.
Councilman
We
Mark
all
Ridley
do.
Thomas, praying that in the days ahead,
It is.
justice will roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. And of course, the music is going
Trumonger
to be
says
fire.
she's
If
spitting.
you're a friend
That's a
or
whole
supporter
sentence.
of MRT, we hope you will come show
Yeah.
your solidarity this Sunday, March
Like
6th,
she's
from
spitting.
5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at Holman United Methodist Church. Again, located at 3320 West Adams Boulevard in Los Angeles, California. We'll see you there.
California is a great place to live and work, but those aren't easy things to do for students also going to college. That's why the state created the Californians for All College Corps, a way for students to build skills and help others while earning up to $10,000
Okay,
for school.
call back.
Commit to serve your community and we'll help you pay for college. Spots will fill up fast, so learn more and apply today at www.cacollegecorps.com. That's
Katina said, I feel like I owe a balance after this session with Miss Zimmerman. You better understand
California
it.
is a great place to live and work, but those aren't easy things to do for students also going to college. That's why the state created the Californians for All College Corps, a way for students to build skills and help others while earning up to $10,000 for school. Commit to serve your community and we'll help you pay for college. Spots will fill up fast, so learn more and apply today.
Everybody tell Mimi they love her, please. Can we all show some love to Mimi? Mimi, we love you, Mimi. Show love to Mimi, please. Everybody send Mimi a love, a heart. Throw some hearts at Mimi. I wish, let me see. There you go. We love you, Mimi.
Plus fees and are available at Bob Marley BobMarleyXP.com. That's Bob Marley.
I'm always got work to do. My bad. So ain't no bad. It's good. You could always hear it again. Miss Zimmerman should be locked up the way she bent me over that bed with the knowledge. Oh, she beat me over the head with the knowledge. I said, bent you over the bed. What kind of sexual fantasy? Miss Zimmerman beat me over the bed. What? What the fuck happened? I didn't see none of that.
South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, fosters teen activism, where young people have their campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars.
I got bent over the bed.
To make AP classes available to students.
Knowledge sometimes bends you over in the bed. What?
Publishing major news outlets and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit
bent over with knowledge.
This is a community
The fuck happened?
from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the voice of reason with Phil Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
But somehow we got loose from what was oh so tight. Somewhere we went wrong when we were oh so right. Somewhere we just didn't do what's meant to be. Now I'm trying again, but now this is the end. Tell me what's the use of holding on if we can't be free? I'm trying to know it hurts me
Everybody in here in a vibe right now. It's Friday night, man. You can't never get nothing like this nowhere, man. This is exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, the voice of reason, live from Leimert Park, the heart of Africa town here in Los Angeles. We turned up. This one of them topics tonight. I knew I wanted to end the week strong, but I didn't know it was going to be Mark Henry strong. This is a different kind of strong tonight. I loved it. But let me ask you this question, because you're going to integrate two pieces here. Agree or disagree? Because feelers are such a huge, because feelers are such a huge part of a feeler's world, they often assume everyone communicates in a similar emotional lens. They live in the world of subtlety and nuance, reading between the emotional lines, and this can raise difficulty when it comes to communicating with a thinker. You said something about regulation that was really powerful. Can we talk about that?
Sure. I agree that it brings difficulty. The feeler has to learn how to regulate their emotions. They have to learn how to manage their nervous system, deep breathing, a meditative life. They have to take responsibility for being the feeler because it is an imbalance in their life. And if they expect to be effective in the relationship, they have to be able to regulate so that they can present with and to the thinker. They want to be heard. The goal is effectiveness, not competition. So if I want to be effective, I have to deliver things to my my thinker. We all have different adult learning styles. So if I want you to get the information and I want us to have success on the other side of the information, I have to present it to you in a way that you can receive it. And if you're my partner, I'm going to take responsibility for my emotional nature, regulation or dysregulation. Those are the options.
And the thinker has to regulate thinking too.
The thinker has to regulate their imbalance in thinking and logic, and it's got to be this way, and it's too rigid. It doesn't have enough space. Remember, relationships have to have the space. So the thinker has to also regulate so that they can be available to have the biofeedback loop that makes the relationship whole and successful. Day to day. Success is day to day, moment to moment.
How would you define an intimate quitter?
An intimate quitter. Wow, I wish I didn't have experience in that.
Yeah, but...
An intimate quitter, as I would say, is a person that doesn't have the ability to withhold or maintain the emotions, a healthy emotion. So they opt out of the relationship. I'm out of here. I'm good. I didn't like it anyway.
So the tank is empty.
I can't operate. I don't have a skill. I don't have a skill set. So from age, I think it's 21 to 31, we're developing intimacy as human beings. It's the psychosocial nature of human beings. It's either isolation versus intimacy. So if I am underdeveloped in intimacy, then I'm going to isolate, I'm going to run, I'm going to quit, I'm going to abandon the relationship. And children that were abandoned, or at least perceived abandonment in their childhood, will abandon relationships. They will abandon themselves. They won't allow themselves to have the joy and the love. They will abandon the partner.
But see, people think abandonment comes from people who don't have parents. But you can have parents, you can have a whole family unit and still experience abandonment within that nuclear situation, and then model that and carry it into your adult relationship. Speak to that.
Absolutely. Abandonment comes from children believing that they don't matter, that their voice didn't matter, that they weren't seen, they didn't get to mirror, they didn't have the mirror experience. We need to talk about mirroring in relationships. They didn't have the mirroring from, a healthy mirroring from their object, which is their mother. If the mother is emotionally unavailable or is working, or father's working, then the child feels abandoned, unseen. And they take that in their friendship, they take that to their friendships, and they take that to their romantic relationships. Abandonment, emotional abandonment.
So let me hit you with this. Statistics on personality types report that 75.5% of women are feelers and 56.5% of men are thinkers. So right off the bat, we can see that a substantial number of men, about 43%, have feeling preferences. Can men be feelers and can women be thinkers?
Of course. It absolutely depends upon your childhood disposition. It just does. How are you surviving your feelings? How are you surviving your thinking? How are you surviving your existence is really what we're talking about. I become the thinker because I had to figure out how to survive my existence. And the way that I did that was, I know if I can academically do it, or if I can line things up, or if I can even appear intelligent from the penitentiary. That's the way that I'm surviving relationships or surviving my existence in the tribe. Feelers, same thing. Same thing. People learn how to emotionally manipulate. They learn how to guilt trip. They learn how to manipulate their parents a long time ago. So they become this feeling thing, and they don't have any basis in spirit.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. True or false? Study shows that profound emotions can block logical thinking. Love is illogical. One can state if one applies rationality. So here's my question. Can emotions override all reasoning, especially if they're profound, if they're intense? Can they just shut out your ability to reason in a particular space?
Well, we have to say what emotions are. We don't catch emotions. They're not in the air. It's not like COVID. Okay? So what we're calling emotions are chemicals released in the body from the brain into the bloodstream. You feel it in your throat, you feel it in your stomach, you feel it in your chest. That's emotion. Emotion is either fear-based or love-based. It is period there. There's nothing around that. If you're experiencing a threat,
Wait, hold on. Please say that again. Because people don't understand. Say it again and just really just tell them how you feel when you say it. Just let it out.
Emotions are either fear-based or love-based. So if I am having an experience, no matter what it is, if I perceive a threat to my feelings, my reputation, what you think about me, if that childhood stuff is unhealed, if I perceive a threat, fight or flight is taken off. There's cortisol, there's adrenaline, there's epinephrine. There's nothing I can do about it. It is released into my system involuntarily. Period.
When we come forward, we gonna go to Kay in Los Angeles. Sister girl in here cooking. She's a better chef than Emerald Lagasse. When we come forward, we got more from Delana Zimmerman.
Black women get the job done. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by Blendistry. Story courtesy of CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Representative Barbara Lee holds her first campaign rally at Laney College in Oakland, California, declaring, "We fight for freedom, dignity, justice, and together."
She definitely came for us tonight. You ain't lying.
That's why she's running for U.S. Senate. She is the highest-ranking African-American woman in the U.S. Congress and the only African-American so far in the 2024 California senatorial race. Lee, who is 76, is serving her 12th term in the U.S. Congress. I'm Maisha Cairo for KBLA 1580, and that's your K-Black Minute News.
What did I miss in the chat? What is happening?
Lendistry is a national black-led small business lender that is headquartered in Los Angeles. Lendistry helps small business owners access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit Lendistry, LENDISTRY.com
If me and her will go back and forth
today.
about this incubus and succubus thing one more time, I don't
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, they talk about this every week.
To feel
Let's
stressed,
leave that alone. I don't want to hear nothing else
worried, or
about
frustrated.
that. You don't want to be called that. No, so I'm Sunday.
What'd you say? Better hunter? What'd you say?
Better honey, shoot honey.
Better hunter, shoot a hunt. Y'all done got Arabia on her thug side. Y'all leave Arabia mad now. Better hunter, shoot a hunter.
Or live chat at calhope.org today.
All right, good. Because I don't see all of the chats, by the way. I'll be...
Joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on
the show fire. Better hunter, shoot a hunter. You should have never said that shit in front of me. I will remind you of that shit every time I see you. It just came out like better hunter, shoot a hunter. What the fuck? This motherfucker. Boys in the Hood line. Better hunter, shoot a hunter.
For today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Here we go.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh. I know.
Wondering if you wear the same cologne.
I do.
Smell good on you. Had the next boyfriend of mine try that same kind. But it stunk on him though. You know what they say, everything ain't for everybody. But I tried anyway. You sure did smell good. Hey, you just run across my mind. You just run across my mind. You just
never slumping, never round. It would turn me on.
Only 10 minutes left in the show. And you know, man, my playlist is my co-host. This is my mind playlist. All the songs had mind or something that referenced the mind in it. And Jill Scott, of course. Amazing artist. Man, we in here cooking tonight. This is a powerful show. Before we ask in any more questions, I want to get my phone caller on the line because she called and then she dropped and we got her back. Welcome to the Voice of Reason live on KBLA Talk 1580. K, get in here.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Okay, so killer topic. I'm loving it. I just want to echo kind of what Sean said earlier. The show is really an awesome opportunity to kind of like learn and hear feedback from other people on topics that I think a lot of us are dealing with. So I appreciate you for that. You had a caller on earlier, Reggie, and he mentioned something about, if there could be no judgment in a relationship so people can just be forward and open and progress their relationship. And I was struck with the thought that I think a lot of times people will be judgmental of their partner so that they don't have to confront things, their own issues. And it's not something that I've been immune to. It's something I've been guilty of as well. Another thing that you guys mentioned that I kind of wanted to touch on was when you mentioned that, something about feelers, they want to be communicated with on the level of their feelings. And I think that sometimes feelers take things personally when the thinker doesn't necessarily process what they're saying in emotionally aggressive fashion. They're just speaking facts, but it might be received as an attack, and that can make things difficult in a relationship. And I also think that another thing, I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but it's been an awesome conversation. I think that not only are feelers, do they put the relationship in jeopardy when they are looking at things through an emotional feeling lens, but I think thinkers, they can kind of jeoprize the relationship in terms of overthinking, overprocessing.
100%. Yes.
That they're thinking. I just wanted to give much love to your guest, Delana Zimmerman, Queen.
Bang, bang, bang.
Thank you.
Yes, she's killing tonight, no doubt.
And cooking with that rarefied olive oil.
You want to dig?
Yeah, and lastly, two more quick things. I didn't want to hang up, but I called to chime in, and you guys were saying it all, so I felt like, well, there's nothing for me to ask. So, I don't mind sitting back and being a student, but you did call me out, appreciate it.
Yes.
And so I thought I would call back, and keep playing those drums up.
Yo, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for calling. You brought Los Angeles into the building. It was a monster show. Delana, where can they find you? How do they support what you're doing?
Oh, wow. Thank you for that. I am easily found on Instagram at Delana Zimmerman Therapy. And also at DelanaZimmermanTherapy.com. That's my website. I am starting a love school. It's a 6-week course. It's going to be June 1st. So it's going to be summer school, love school. And we're going to be teaching how to be more effective in relationships, all of them.
Mm.
We're redefining love. We're building a love community and love language.
I need to sign up myself. Jesus.
There is a payment plan, so if you're looking for that, it's $500, $499 for a 6-week course, and this is how we change the narrative.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely need that. I'm sorry. I need it. Go ahead, though. But what's the website? Say it again. I want people to lock into this. I want you guys to go out right now in force, sign up, support, back, do what you got to do to raise this thing up. Because especially if you heard tonight's show, you know she's worth the money. Tell them.
DelainaZimmermanTherapy.com. Look under Love School. It's at the top.
I love it. Love School.
Yes. I wanted to address the thing about being non-judgmental.
Will there be, we're going to do that, but will there be detention?
It could be.
So talk to me about the non-judgmental piece of this, the thinker, because I know the thinker can fall into judgment quite easily. Mm-hmm. Not to say that the feeler can't, because the feeler judges from a feeling perspective, like, you're not feeling me, so this is cause for me to disconnect because I need to be felt. Talk to me about that.
Well, to me, it doesn't matter whether you're the thinker or the feeler. And the only way that we can get into non-judgment is if we humanize each other. Because as long as you're my object, the thing that's supposed to, my man, my woman, you're supposed to have an activity. You're supposed to know your job description. You're supposed to know what to say after I say that. When you're an object, I'm going to judge you as not doing your job well. But when you're a human being, my human who is experiencing this conflict, just like I'm experiencing this conflict, then I have grace. And I make room for all of it. Oh, he's in his thinking right now. That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to hold space for that. Or she's in her feeling right now. It's okay. I'm going to hold space for that. Sort of like what our couple was talking about. They hold space for each other. Nobody's losing. There's no competition. We're two that are one. That's where the judgment dies, when I'm willing to give you grace.
And holding space is such a powerful term. But I think sometimes it gets bastardized and misused. Can you give us 3 steps for how to hold space, one for self and one for your partner? How do you do that?
It's based in self-love. There has to be self-love. And the other one is you use your body by breathing. You have to breathe in order to regulate that fear-based thought. We're all having the fear-based thought, whether we're the thinker or the feeler. So that's how I hold space. I love myself. I take a breath. And in my breathing, I make space for both of us. That's the 3 steps. I secure myself in love, I take a breath, I regulate, and then I hold us both in love.
Hold us both in love.
It's either love or fear, I said.
Is it?
That's how you transmute fear to love.
Oh, that hurt. That's how you transmute love to fear.
Fear to love.
Can you talk about, just really quickly, I'll keep asking questions, Eddie. I know it's almost over. Holding space. Okay, listen, we just gonna have to do another show. Because I got so many questions, man. Listen, if you enjoyed tonight's show, trust me, the replay will be up on the Apple Podcast. You all got to download my Apple Podcast. There's 196 episodes up already. Download the Apple Podcast. Please continue to leave your 5-star comments and support. All you got to do is type in Zoe Williams, Voice of Reason, and pop up on Spotify, Google, all that stuff. Now, let's do this. When we come forward, you're going to get a replay of Robin Ayers and Areva Martin. Now, Areva Martin's going to come first, then Robin Ayers is going to follow right after that. Robin Ayers and Areva Martin are 2 of our newest shows, so you're going to get the replay of that. Let me just say, we start the conversation, but it's your job to finish it. This has been The Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams and Delaina Zimmerman. See y'all next week.
I know you're gonna say some things that we both don't need to say. Like,
I told you sometimes I don't like sharing my topic beforehand. I just want to surprise people. But I shared it this time. I shared it 15 minutes. All you need is 3 minutes. Yo, this was a fire show, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the love. I hope it was a learning experience for everybody. I hope y'all got something from it. Nothing but love, approval, and appreciation for each and every one of y'all. All right? Deuces.